It's the end of the year. When I was a student and somebody would have asked me where all of my money disappears to, I might not have had a clue. There's this one habit that I wish I would have had when I was a student. It's an end of the year money reset. It's an audit, not a judgment. But it allows you to turn all this chaos into a plan for the next year and ultimately start 2026 a little bit stronger. Our lives are stressful enough as they are, so finances shouldn't be one of them. As a student or an employee, our incomes quite often remain fixed, and spending becomes more and more frictionless. With credit cards, Google Pay, Apple Pay, it's so much easier to spend your money. If you ever want to be in control of your finances, clarity clearly beats willpower. And what better time than the end of the year to do a reset? So here's the strategy I use to do that. It's usually a Saturday or Sunday morning. I gather every account that I used in the past year, checking, savings statement, credit cards included as well, Venmo, PayPal, whatever you used, and just export it into a full year transaction set. There are a couple of changes I had to go through in order for this to work for me. First was a mindset shift. This is about evidence. It's not about guilt. You're not defending yourself. You're not on trial. The second, fast beats perfect. Having a list that's categorized by the end of the day is much better than having a complete set of expenditures that takes another year to make. And as long as you consistently label your spending, it doesn't matter if a coffee falls into personal expenses or restaurants. Ultimately, this is a system that is supposed to help you figure out where your money goes. First, you build a list of categories. This is usually groceries, rent, utilities, transportation, insurance, sometimes medical costs, subscriptions are a big one quite often, then travel, gifts, whatever you can come up with. That's a label, and that label exists. Important, everything gets a label. Once you go through your entire year and assign a label to each of things you spend money on, you can sort them into 3 buckets. The first one is the necessary bucket. This is what keeps life running. It's the things you need in order to survive. The second is the try to keep bucket. These are the things that are not necessary in order to survive, but they are nice to have. Going out for drinks with friends, going for a coffee, doing certain activities. Importantly, these are very subjective, so you need to figure out what you really want to try to keep. The last bucket is the luxury bucket. These are the things that are optional. It's quite often throwing a big party, going for travel to this new exotic location, or just eating out every day. No matter what you put in which bucket, the important thing is that you decide on purpose. It allows you to find patterns. It allows you to spot these leaks that quietly drain your bank account. Subscriptions are quite often an offender, because we start with this free trial and then we get charged and they quietly multiply. Similarly with takeout, it was a treat once and then it just becomes a pattern and you start eating out 3 or 4 times a week. Other things could be small things that you buy and they just keep accumulating. You're treating yourself for another thing that's just a couple of dollars here, a couple of dollars there, but if you don't keep track of it, it all accumulates fast. When I'm done with this, I usually circle the 3 biggest offenders, the things that surprise me the most and that quietly drain my bank account. It happens. Also, life happens. So keep in mind that there might be spikes in your spending. This could be for a conference, because you moved, because you got married, or because you needed a laptop replacement because your old one didn't turn on anymore. These are usually one-time events, and they're not what's quietly sinking your funds. It's the repeat offenders that you need to be aware of. So go ahead and compute your monthly baseline cost. And that's very easy. Take everything in the necessary bucket, sum it up, and divide it by 12. Now you have the cost of being alive per month that you can then compare to your monthly income. Name that gap, because you can use that gap to change your life. Now you can turn your audit into a budget. First, protect the baseline. It's what you need in order to keep alive. Then you work on the try to keep bucket. Keep it stable, don't go overboard, but ultimately this is a guilt-free spending. Spend it on things that you really want to keep. The luxury bucket, on the other hand, this is where you can cap spending. While you're creating your budget, try to pick one priority goal for financial health. This could be a starter emergency fund, pay down a high interest debt, or invest consistently, even something small. Importantly, automate it, because this reduces money anxiety overall. Nowadays, there are just way too many financial traps out there. Quite often we wait before we invest until we earn more. We consider creating budgeting as a restriction and tell ourselves that the small purchases don't really matter. When I started taking my finances into my own hands, I started doing this at the end of every year. I download my statements, I categorize every transaction, and I choose one automated change for financial health. The biggest surprise for me was that money anxiety goes way down, and I really wish I would have started this while I was still a student. Give it a try.